Hi everyone, this is different. I'm not doing a video because I just came out of prayer and I just wanted to share this while it's still fresh on my mind. So I'm in prayer and I'm thinking about, the state of the world and we look at how things are going on and what's happening all around us. It, can be a bit discouraging and a little scary, to be honest at times. But I'm in my reading and I read about Jehoshaphat, and this is in Second Chronicles chapter 20, when the there were his enemies were coming up against him, right? And his response was, he said he was terrified, and then he, talked to God, and he called for fast, a corporate fast. He had gave the orders for, all of Judah and Israel to fast. And so they came together, and you can read about it. I'm just summarizing. They came together and they fasted, and then the spirit of the Lord came up on a man that was within the group, and God spoke through the man and told them not to be afraid, and he told them that to go out and to march out into battle. He would be with them, and he told them that they won't even have to fight and to take their position, and he would give them the victory. Now, when he said you don't even have to fight and take your position and be still, take your position. So at first he told him, you don't have to fight. The battle is yours. But then he followed up, just take your position. So my thing is, okay, Lord, what is my position? That's my question today. What is my position? That's what I asked the Lord. And so I just wanted to share that, and then I'm come back to that, but let me go back to somewhere else I was reading. So I was reading also in Jonah, and it was Jonah chapter 3. I don't have the verses, but if you want to go read Jonah chapter 3, go do that. It's great. When Jonah did not want to go to Nineveh because he didn't want God to forgive them, and it's funny, he wanted God to bring judgment. He didn't want God to release mercy and grace and forgive them. But in Jonah chapter 3, when Jonah went to Nineveh, he told them that in 40 days God is going to destroy all of Israel, right? And then the king again gave order to fast, for the people to fast. He said, we're going to come together. We're going to fast. No food, no water. Don't even feed the animals. We're going to fast for 3 days. And he said that hopefully God would change his mind. And so they fasted. And the end of the story is God did change his mind. He spared them. And so as I'm thinking about how the state of the world is, and all, and where we are, and today, you be honest now, it seems like wrong is right and right is wrong, and no one is really standing up for the things of God. And I'm like, God, where are the believers? Where is the church at doing all of this? We're quiet, we're passive. Where are the voices? And I believe it's because, and this is my thought process, I believe so many of God's people are quiet because they don't want the backlash. And especially now, cancel culture. Oh, people are so afraid of cancel culture. They don't want to be canceled. But we should not be concerned about cancel culture. The only one we should be concerned about is Jesus, what he thinks of us, because that's where we get our validation from. We're accepted in him. We should not want to be accepted in society or what the culture thinks. So, nevertheless, it is what it is. People do and don't do because they're afraid of backlash. And that is happening so within the church. And so with what I was reading today, and my heart was just like, Lord, why are we quiet? Where are the voices? And that's what, why aren't we like Jehoshaphat, or why haven't we come together like they did in Jonah chapter 3 when they saw what was going on around them bad, and they were in a crisis. They found themselves in a crisis, and they were able to come together corporately to pray to fast, to worship, and God moved on their behalf. He moved mightily, and He will do the same thing for us now, today, if we were to just get that concept and we come together. And now I know there are churches that they have a church fast, a corporate church fast. They come together and they pray and they fast and worship and all that. But I'm saying go beyond that. Like today with social media and the reach that we have, why can't we just, say, hey, let's plan a day of fasting, worship, prayer, or 3 days? Like all the believers don't eat, don't, give it up, consecrate ourselves so that we can come before the God of all creation, our God, and get instructions on what to do in this time so that He can move in our nation, and not just our nation, but across the world. We have the power to do that because we have social media. Why aren't we doing those things? Why aren't we looking at the examples in the Bible whenever they were hit with crisis? They fast. When you even look at Esther, when Haman had plotted against the people of Israel, Esther called for a fast. Daniel called for a fast. Moses fasted. Jesus fasted. And it's real. It's power in fasting. God will work mightily when we come together and we fast. And so that's just my thought. And that's my prayer also. I just pray that God will just touch the heart and mind of His people, especially the believers and the leaders that have influence. There's so many leaders that have millions of people watching them. And I pray that they will wake up and they will stand for what's right. And they will use that platform. And let's call for all of God's people to come together like in formation. And we stand shoulder to shoulder. We're going to pray. We're going to fast. We're going to worship. And we may not be able to be there physically shoulder to shoulder, but we can in the spirit, like the army of God. It's time for us to rise up and do the work in this earth that God put us here to do. And that's just all I had to share, because I was just coming out of prayer, and I know I haven't posted anything in a long time, but I just felt like I need to release this, to put it out there. I don't know who's gonna hear it. I hope somebody here, if it's one person, and that brings about a change. And let's get something done. Let's take our stand, our position. That's the position. That's the position. God has given us so many examples in His Word on how to deal with everything that we would have to face. Remember, the Bible also says there's nothing new under the sun. We have to get back to those concepts. Some people may say, oh, that's Old Testament and this isn't for now. Listen, yes, it is. Yes, it is. The Old Testament and the New Testament goes hand in hand. God shows us His power and who He is in the Old Testament. Then we see Jesus in the New Testament, His grace, His love. So we can still, it's still good for us today, the old and the new. But I'm done. That's all I wanted to share. Hopefully I'll be able to get more stuff out. I just, been busy, but I'm a voice, right? So I'm talking to myself as well. Even if it's once every now and then, to release something, whatever God puts on my heart. Because it's time, people. It's time for us to take our position. Be blessed. Thank you.